and welcome to Inside View. I'm your host, Sid Marsh, and with me today is Scott Nanik, and he's president of the Angels Murphy's Rotary Club. So we're going to learn a lot about the Rotarians. Welcome, Scott.
Thanks, Sid.
Okay, well, first off, tell me, what is the Rotary International? What do they represent? What is it all about?
So Rotary International is about 1.2 million members worldwide, 35,000 clubs, and our focus is several things: promote peace, fight disease, provide clean water and sanitation, solve medical problems, and support education, and then help local economies grow.
You sound better than the government. I mean, you sound like an entire government.
Well, our focus is all on service, so everything goes to those type of projects to benefit our planet and our world.
So how do you raise money for these kind of things?
We do lots of fundraisers. Our club, the Angels Murphy's Rotary Club, does one big fundraiser a year. We're fortunate that our community supports us beyond belief. We have a shrimp feed every August, and we do it in Murphy's Park. Last year during pandemic, we did it virtually and did a drive-through, and it went wonderfully. We raised almost the same amount of money last year as we will this year. Looking like this year's figures, we will net somewhere around $30,000 to give back to the community.
Now, is that the only way you make money, or are there other ways? I mean,
That's
what
really
would
how
your whole budget be for the year?
That's about our budget for the year.
Okay.
That's how we raise money. Part of that we set aside every year to an endowment that we've been creating. So we now have $100,000 in an endowment so that we can sustain some of these things we're doing through the interest and growth of that fund.
Well, let's hear some of these things you're doing with this fund.
So we start out with scholarships for students. We do $5,000 a year at Bret Harte High School for 2 students every year, and we hope to keep growing that amount. But it's quite fun to see where these kids are going and their plans. Around the educational realm, we do a lot of things, which is what attracted me to this club, particularly.
Being superintendent, I would say.
Yes, is the focus on education. So we celebrate Students of the Month and Students of the Semester at all the local schools along Highway 4. And then we do Teachers of the Year for the county, the entire county. We give away dictionaries to 3rd graders along Highway 4 every year.
I find that interesting with the internet. The kids would still like to get into the dictionary.
They love to get into the dictionary. So they're still at that point where they're super curious, and it's a lot of fun. We actually take them to the classrooms, make the rounds to the schools, and deliver them to every 3rd grader. Tell them a little bit about Rotary and give them their dictionaries every year. We do a Santa with the after-school programs. To kind of bring some cheer to the spark to the kids, which is a lot of fun. And every kid we ask to write down what they'd like from Santa, and then we custom shop for every kid.
Really?
Yep. So they always get something they'd like.
That's commendable. It really is.
Yep. We do coats, hats, scarves for kids along the Highway 4 corridor during the winter. So the schools reach out to us and say, hey, we've got so many kids or families that could use warm clothing or shoes, and we go to work and go purchase those items and get them to the schools. So
a lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work, but very rewarding work, and we get lots of bright, cheery faces and thank yous. But
so you take care of the education part. Now, what were the different parts you were saying you use your money in?
We fight disease. So Rotary International. Big push is to eradicate polio on the planet, and we're very close.
Okay. You don't hear about it that much.
You don't. There are a few countries
that was huge.
In the Middle East that still have some polio issues, but staying on top of it, and every once in a while it pops up somewhere, but by staying on top of it, I can remember polio as a kid. I had a cousin who was in a wheelchair since he was a teenager because of polio, and many of us have seen the big iron lungs that used to be around.
Right.
So we made lots of progress.
So what does Rotary do for the polio?
We help fund it. $3 a vaccine is what it roughly costs.
Oh, okay.
So we raise money and then we partner. So our biggest partner has been the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation for Rotary International to help fund those projects and get those things out there. And then we have teams too that go out and help with distribution. So we'll connect with doctors and others to go out and provide those vaccines.
So people from here in Calaveras are going internationally?
They can, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
There are lots of opportunities for them to do projects internationally. Water projects are a big one right now in third world countries, providing clean, safe, palatable water, either through well sources or filtration systems.
And what is your group doing to do that?
We're funding a program with another Madera club that's doing a water project in, oh, you're going to catch me off guard, I can't quite remember. It's in one of the African countries, but I can't remember which one. But so we'll partner with them to help fund it, and then we may send a couple of members to go help with the installation. Our goal is to always build a project that's sustainable. So when we build a project, we're looking to buy the materials locally so that if it breaks, the local village can repair it, and we will teach them how to do it.
Oh, okay.
So it's nothing like
yeah.
that they have to keep having us come back to fix it.
So what are the other areas? You listed a lot of areas.
Yeah.
I'd like to get into all of them.
Okay.
You have a nice list there.
Yeah, it is a list. So right now we're in the middle of our Souls for Souls shoe drive.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's a
So
clever
we
name.
collect used shoes throughout the county and then ship them to a company back on the East Coast. They sort them out, and the new shoes that are donated get repurposed and sent out in the United States. The shoes that need repair go overseas. They get repaired, and then they get either put into small businesses where they'll have shops and resell those shoes locally, or donate them to communities that can't afford them. So we typically collect about 2,000 pair of shoes every year. We box them all up. We'll be doing that on the 28th of October over at Milliere Winery, and they get one of the wineries donates all the boxes. We pack shoes for a couple of hours, seal them all up, and then Zappos pays for the shipping. So we take take a huge truck down to UPS there in Angels Camp, and normally their eyes get real big and go, "Weren't expecting 200 boxes of shoes to come in today." But that's also a real fun project we do, and kind of has an international connection to it.
Well, you have all these projects. How many people are in your organization that are doing all these?
About 40.
Wow, that's not that many.
It's not a super big
And
club.
you guys are busy doing all the shoes and education and Santas and this and that.
Yep. We have a couple of connections. So we have an Interact Club at Bret Harte High School. So there's a few kids there that help us out, and a few at Avery Middle School that reach out and help us all the time. And then we have what we've
So you have your spies in the school. huh?
Absolutely. Always have our eyes and ears on the ground for who needs what when.
That's good.
We have what we call Friends of Rotary. So people that can't make that weekly commitment to be at a club meeting or just looking to do something specific, we keep a list of people we reach out to and say, "Hey, this is going on today. Can you help us out?" And get our community better tied into what we're doing as a club.
So what is the responsibility of a Rotarian? What do you have? If I became a Rotarian, what would I have to do? You were saying weekly meetings, that sort of thing.
So take everything you knew about Rotary and kind of throw it out the door, because Rotary made a big shift probably about 10 years ago. We do meet weekly, but it's not a required meeting, and we're not as dogmatic about attendance as it used to be. We want to see you. We love having you part of the group, but we ask you make half the meetings if you can. We do a lunch meeting. Lunch is optional. You don't have to buy a lunch if you don't want to. If you do, we just bill you for the cost of the meal. And so we get together, we have those meetings, we have the fundraisers, we talk about ways we want to be involved in our community. We look for people to join our club that are visionary, that have new ideas on how we can serve. So we've created a few fun new things over the past couple years. Right now we're in our Cuddles for Children project.
Cuddles for children.
Yeah, so we're working with the schools to get new stuffed animals donated that we're going to place in all the highway patrol, sheriff, and police cars in the county. So when they have to interface with a child,
Right.
they have something nice soft that that kid can hang on to.
That's a good idea.
Yep. We work closely with the senior centers and the senior programs. So we've done a meal program and a gift program for the senior center in Murphy's every year. We do Meals on Wheels, so we really help support that program and add that extra meal to the local senior citizens that are part of it, to try to provide a more stable food source for them.
So you provide money to Meals on Wheels?
Yep.
You don't,
Yep.
you don't actually deliver the meals or anything?
We have.
Oh, okay.
So when they sometimes run short or freezers fail in the area and they need to get things out quickly, they holler and we'll jump in the cars and help get things moving for them.
Now, how long have you been involved with Rotary?
So the Rotary, this club, I've been involved almost 4 years now. Prior to that, I was in the Twain Harte Rotary Club. And Rotary's just always been something that stuck on my mind as a great organization that gives back to the community.
That's why you joined?
That's why I joined, because nothing's kept by the club. Nothing's really kept by Rotary International. Almost every dollar goes 100% through to the charitable organizations. We're 100% voluntary, even at the international level. It's a voluntary organization.
Now, how long has it been around?
1900s, about 1905.
And who started it and why?
Paul Harris started it as a way to give back to the community.
He was a businessman?
A businessman, and we have a scholarship kind of in his name. It's the Paul Harris Fellow. So once a Rotary member donates $1,000 to the International Foundation, they get a pin recognizing that they've done that. And that International Foundation is what funds the polio projects and some of the water projects. So what's really nice about Rotary is as we raise money and we latch onto a project, or we can create our own project, Rotary International will match dollars as we raise with them. So they'll throw in $50,000 to our $50,000, and whoa, we've got a major project going, and here we go.
Now, do you have anything on the drawing board in the future projects that you're thinking about? Or?
We are. Rotary has added environmental service to its list of service areas lately. So we're looking at some ideas for that and how we can help.
I was just wondering, yeah, what would Rotary do for the environment?
Plant trees, help
Okay.
reforest areas. Water's the big one. Coming up with clean water is definitely an environmental need for villages and things. So yeah.
And now you're president.
Yep.
And what's that, for a year or so?
For a year.
Okay. Well, at the end of your term, what do you want to be remembered by as president for?
I think I want to be remembered as adding a new spark back to the Angels Murphys Club. We're just coming off the pandemic. 2 years under a pandemic has been really tough. We did virtual meetings for a while.
Like Zoom meetings?
And made it work and tried to stay connected and reached out to our members and just, trying to make sure everybody's doing okay.
Did you see some fall off of membership?
A little bit, but most
meeting?
of them, we have just kind of taken a break or slowed down on their attendance. Many of our members are business owners, and as we all know in the community, finding help and support to hire somebody into your business is difficult right now. So they're on the ground running their businesses, and we're trying to be as flexible as possible with them to let them do that and still stay active in Rotary.
Now, how much interaction do you have with other Rotarians, other groups, worldwide or whatever?
Quite a bit. We have guest speakers every week in the club. Many of those come from other Rotary clubs. So they'll talk about projects they're doing or focus areas they have. Our district governor was just up last week to visit, and he sees the entire district area from Oakhurst area clear up past Lodi and that area. It's a pretty big territory.
Oh yeah, I would say so. Now, what is your territory?
So Angels Murphys Rotary covers Copperopolis up to Arnold and most of the Highway 4 corridor.
And there's other Rotary clubs here
Yes.
in Calaveras.
So I really encourage people to seek out the one that works for them and is either nearby work or nearby home. The San Andreas Rotary is a lunch club that meets at the town hall here in San Andreas. And then the West Calaveras Club meets at La Quintana in the morning at the golf course.
And you meet at the Murphy's Hotel?
Murphy's
noon
Hotel.
On Thursdays?
Thursdays at lunch.
Okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned, and we were talking before, you mentioned how other Rotarians come to your meetings, or you can go to another meeting if you're in another town.
That's one of the huge benefits about being a Rotarian is you almost have a friendship anywhere in the world you want to go. So a lot of us, when we travel, will pick an area and look up the club and when they're meeting and drop in and have lunch or dinner or breakfast with that club. It's a great way to get to know the area and make some contacts. And Rotaries are service-oriented and giving by nature, so it's not uncommon to go, hey, let me show you around town. Let me show you about all the places you don't know about. Let me tell you about the history. Oh, why don't you join us for dinner tonight?
Sure.
So it's really a nice connection.
Have you taken some people under your wing?
We've had a few people that come into our club here in Murphy's. We've had several from Europe, Germany area, and several from Mexico. They come in and love to come up to our area.
Have you done the opposite? Have you gone someplace and...
I haven't had the pleasure yet. My job is keeping me a little busy nowadays.
Yeah, I would think so. Superintendent of schools would do that.
Yeah.
Now, how does that interface with Rotary? Tell me a little bit more about that. You were talking about the education.
The education piece is really what caught my eye, so that's primarily the connection.
Is that why you got into Rotary, when you were involved with education?
Yeah. It's a really good fit. It's a prime directive of Rotary and focus. And I'm always looking out for what can we do better for kids. And to me, it takes a village to raise a kid, and Rotary is just part of that village.
Now, would teachers be interested in joining Rotary?
They could. It's challenging.
It's not just for businessmen.
No,
right?
it's not.
Okay.
It's for community members. We have a lot of retirees. We have young people.
So you have young and old, you have men and women.
Men and women.
It's a nice mix.
Yes, it's a really nice mix. All with the same focus. We're really about service above self. And so normally when you ask a Rotarian for something, the answer is yes. We'll figure it out. Some way or another, we'll figure it out. But just having that connection is really nice.
What do you think is the biggest project that you've been involved with Rotary that you're proud of?
Ooh, that is a really good question.
I mean, you've had 4 years here, you've had Twain Hart, you
Yeah,
must have done some
Twain
really
Hart,
good projects.
I can remember at Twain Hart the years of building community parks and things like that in my younger days.
Okay.
When
Hands-on work.
Hands-on work, and seeing that happen for a community is special. Today in our club, we're focusing a lot on Murphy's Park. So we arranged to have the mural put on the bathrooms.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar
We're
with that,
helping to add park benches and upkeep to the park and make sure that that's a special place.
So you're working with the community park group?
Foundation,
the
yeah.
Foundation,
Yeah, because that's not funded by the county, or it's really all money raised through organizations, and we all kind of help each other out because it's a special place.
Now, do you do anything for the businesses themselves? Are you like a chamber of commerce where you might be a spokesperson for the businesses or anything like that?
Not really, but we help celebrate them. So tomorrow we're actually doing our Businesses of the Year celebration.
Oh.
So we will have 3 businesses, one from Arnold, one from Murphy's, and one from Angels Camp that the members have nominated and gone through a selection process to be the Business of the Year.
And we can't
they cannot be a Rotarian.
Oh, it cannot be a Rotarian.
Cannot be a
Okay.
Rotarian. And so we will have them over for lunch tomorrow and celebrate the good efforts that they've given to our communities, either through service themselves or drawing attention and helping with our tourism in the community or doing something special. They all stand out for little different reasons, and it's really great to hear their stories.
Can you tell us who they are?
I can. So this year it will be Hinter House Distilling up in Arnold,
Okay.
the V Restaurant in Murphy's, and the Pickle Porch in Angels Camp.
Oh, okay. I'm familiar with 2 of those. The first one, I don't know what they are.
Oh yeah, Hinter House is our new distillery in the area, and they've been operating almost a year now, and have added a whole new life to Arnold.
Are they making vodka or scotch
Vodkas
or-
and bourbons
Oh,
and
really?
gins.
Both
Yeah.
brown and clear.
Yes, and using local wine barrels to age the bourbons in.
Interesting.
Adding a nice touch to the community again, and tying it all together.
So that's why they're being
That's why they're being nominated.
And how about the other 2? What have they done?
The V, that's the one I don't know the most about, but new owners have come to town, kind of re-adding spark and trying to become involved with the community. And then the Pickle Porch, having a new restaurant downtown Angels Camp and a place to eat is always a big plus.
Well, I remember when they were in San Andreas.
Yes, same owner. And Gretel is a huge community person. I worked with her very closely with the Angels Business Association to get the Christmas activities off this year in Angels Camp. And she was a huge contributor and gave it hundreds of hours of her time to make that happen.
Now, they're at the old Visitor Center.
Correct.
Does Rotary deal with the Visitor Center? Or do you have any dealings with that
No, we don't.
for the community, that sort of thing?
Yeah, we don't. We do vocational tours. That's one that we just did, the Lumber Museum up in Arnold.
Oh, yeah. The
And
logging
we try to go
museum,
to, going to museums and going to businesses to learn about what they do.
Oh, I see. And these are for kids? Is that what it
Well,
is?
no, it's for us.
Oh, really? Oh,
To
okay.
learn about our community, learn what's
Oh.
going on, learning about how people are doing things. So we're trying to learn and educate ourselves.
So the Rotary Club goes to the
Yep.
logging museum, goes to these
Right.
different places and
We'll
learns.
normally do sandwiches through one of the local stores, take them up, do a picnic lunch at wherever we're landing that week, and get to see what they're doing and how they're running their business.
Well, other than the logging museum, what other things have you done?
We did the new hotel down at Copperopolis
Oh, okay.
recently, so that's an exciting project going on and bringing a lot to our community. We've done the jail.
The new
Yep,
jail
and they
is
let
very-
everybody out,
very-
so it was nice. So we get to do various things to see what's going on. I know we've done Gems and Stones and a few others, just to get a feel for our precious community.
No, I think that's a great idea. I would love to take a tour of some of our businesses.
Yeah. And then we also celebrate our firefighters, our sheriff officers of the year every year. We do a big luncheon for them. They nominate amongst themselves who those people are going to be, and then we have a big luncheon to celebrate their contributions to our community.
When's that going to be coming up? The luncheons?
We'll do one in January and another one in February. We used to do them together, and they've gotten too big, so which is great. It's nice to see that many people stepping up.
Yeah, it's nice to give back to our firefighters, for sure.
Absolutely.
They've saved us.
Yeah.
Any other projects you're working on?
Let's see. So we collect wheelchairs,
Oh, yeah, you
and we
mentioned
help
that.
distribute them. We work with Hope Haven West out of the Valley, which is a nonprofit. We collect wheelchairs here. They put them in a big container. They repair them all, get them ready, put them in a big container, and we'll ship them off to a country, and then send in a Rotary team to actually custom fit them to the needs of the person in that country. So they have.
So you just don't dump them there, you
Yeah,
actually fit them
fit-
to the
fit 'em
people.
to 'em.
Okay.
Which is an exciting project I wish I could get to go on and see.
You're too tied down here.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see, what are some of the newer ones we've been doing? We do, for organizations, so because of the shrimp feed, we have probably 24 pop-up tents and things.
Right.
We loan those out to the community, to other service organizations, which is something that's probably not well known, but if you're having an event and need to borrow shade coverings, reach out to us.
Oh, really? What
You got-
other things do you have? Anything besides the shade?
Mostly shade,
Yeah.
but it's a huge plus and most people
sure.
do, but we're glad to share what we have with people to help get their organization going too. And
That's
nobody
true.
likes to stand around in the hot sun. Let's see. Did I talk about the cuddles for kids?
No.
Yes. Did I?
Not where they bring to
Yeah.
the
So we're
stuffed
collecting animals
for the
for the cars.
Yeah.
Yep. For the kids. We're working on sprucing up the bus shelters along Highway 4.
That needs it.
Yep. So we're working with some other community members to get new paint and new lumber on those and get them cleaned up and looking spruce again. Because it's been, we guess, about 10 years since that's been done. We work closely with the county on child abuse prevention type items. So
what do
we've
you
been
do for
helping
that?
promote the new county 911 texting system.
Mhm.
So if you text 911 on your phone, it will connect you to our county for help without having to make the phone call.
So
if-
what are you doing for that? How
We're
you-
helping design the posters and helping promote that through our web and social media with them because we don't want any kid to be in the spot.
So, okay, so that texting is part of the keeping child abuse from happening.
Sure,
The
because
kid
the
can text
kid
911.
can text without
That's
saying
a
anything
very good
verbally.
idea, yeah.
And they're, in a spot where they don't have to be on the phone trying to explain something.
Right, and they're much faster.
Yes, they are, absolutely.
Than talking on the phone.
Absolutely. We're right in the middle of a memorial bench for King McPherson. King was a member of Rotary who passed away this year at
I've heard the
104
name.
years old.
Yeah, I've heard that name.
King had a perfect attendance record for Rotary for 70 years.
Whoa.
And a very special
Every
guy.
week.
And up until the last week, would walk the back stairs of the Murphy's Hotel up to the meeting.
At 104.
At 104.
Wow.
So a very special guy. So we're doing a memorial bench for him, and it'll be in the Murphy's Park.
In Murphy's Park.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But he is truly a guy that was super special to us all.
70 years of Rotarian.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And perfect attendance, which is amazing. We're going to be doing Dinner with the Scientists coming up November 18th. The club helps, the county office runs a Dinner with the Scientists program. So we have fourth grade and up come in, and we have scientists come in and share what they do, and we have dinner with them. This year we're doing it all outside at the fairgrounds,
And this is
under
all
the
for
big
the
barn.
kids?
All for the kids. So they will get to visit with 3 scientists in different fields, close up on what they do. So the scientists bring in all their stuff and share it from.
Oh, they'll love that.
Yeah, and
all their experiments and things.
Yep, and then Rotary comes in and helps serve dinner and helps sponsor that dinner for us. So it's a big connection for us.
Now, when's that happen?
November 18th.
And anybody can sign up for that, or is
Yeah,
that-
all the schools have been invited and sent sign-up links. So, and we actually do that for 2 counties. Ours and Amador join to do this event together. And it's going to be kind of fun. We got heaters rented for the big barn, and
Do you have the scientists lined up yet?
scientists. We got 20 scientists lined up.
What kind of scientists?
We got everything from Lawrence Livermore Lab to
Wow.
rocketry to forensic scientists. So it's a really broad spectrum. Entomology, Avery, all kinds of different air forestry.
Do you have to be in grade school to go?
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to go.
It's a really fun event, and the kids like it because we break them up into groups of 6 or 8 with a scientist at a time, and they get about 30 minutes to spend and kind of learn what that scientist does.
You never know where that'll lead.
And we hope it leads to a STEM education, and those kids get hooked on science and move through their careers that way.
Well, Scott, you have given us a lot of information about Rotary. Really, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for being here.
Absolutely enjoyed it.
Well, my name's Sid Marsh. I'm your host, and I'll see you next week.